There are moments in life when we find ourselves standing at the crossroads of memory and possibility, looking back at the path we have walked with someone who touched our soul in ways we never imagined possible. Your person finds themselves in exactly this place right now, replaying every conversation, every shared glance, every moment of connection that shaped the beautiful and complex story you created together. They are retracing the journey step by careful step, almost as if they are searching for that precise instant when everything could have been different, when they had the power to change the course of your shared destiny with just a few honest words. Throughout your time together, there were countless opportunities stretching out before them like open doorways, each one offering the chance to be vulnerable, to be real, to be brave. They could have reached for the phone in those quiet evening hours when your memory burned brightest in their heart. They could have typed out a message that captured even a fraction of what they were feeling, letting their fingers translate the language of their soul onto the screen. They could have simply looked into your eyes and allowed the truth to spill out, unfiltered and unguarded, trusting that you would hold their honesty with the care it deserved. But in those critical moments, something held them back. Perhaps it was fear whispering warnings about rejection and heartbreak. Perhaps it was pride building walls to protect an ego too fragile to risk exposure. Perhaps it was uncertainty clouding their vision, making them doubt what their heart already knew to be true. Whatever the reason, they chose silence when they should have chosen courage. They held their words inside when those words might have changed everything. Now, in the stillness of reflection, that silence has become the heaviest burden they carry. Of all the choices they made in your connection, of all the roads they took or avoided, this is the one that haunts them most profoundly. The regret sits deep in their chest, a constant companion reminding them of what might have been if only they had found the strength to speak. They wish with everything in them that they had been brave enough to let their feelings flow freely in those moments when it mattered most, because the ghost of what could have been still lingers in their consciousness like a shadow they cannot shake, a parallel reality they can almost see but never quite touch. Yet something remarkable has happened in the space between then and now. That heavy regret, rather than crushing them, has transformed into something unexpected and precious, clarity. Through the pain of looking back, they have gained the gift of seeing forward with eyes wide open and heart fully awakened. Your person no longer wants to live in the land of missed opportunities and unspoken truths. Instead, they are ready to step boldly into a new chapter with you, one written with intention rather than hesitation, with presence rather than absence. This is not about a casual reconnection or a surface-level catching up, as if you were old acquaintances exchanging pleasantries about the weather and work. No, what they desire goes infinitely deeper than that. They want a genuine new beginning with you, something that feels pure and sacred from its very foundation. They want to start fresh with all the wisdom they have gained from the past, but without dragging the weight of old patterns and fears into this new space. They want an intentional connection that honors what they have finally come to understand about themselves, about you, and about the profound bond that exists between you. The fog that once obscured their vision has lifted, and they can now see the bigger picture with stunning clarity. The confusion that kept them wandering in circles has given way to understanding. They know now what matters and what does not, what serves love and what blocks it, what brings them closer to their authentic self and what keeps them trapped in illusions. With this expanded vision comes a deeper knowing, a certainty that pulses through their entire being about where they want to go and who they want to walk beside as they journey forward. They are no longer drifting through life without direction or purpose, allowing circumstances and fear to push them wherever the wind happens to blow. Instead, they feel anchored in a truth that gives them both stability and forward momentum. They are ready to embark on this journey with you properly this time, to walk consciously and deliberately towards something meaningful and lasting. They are ready to finally create the bond they have always known was possible between you, the connection that their soul recognized from the very beginning but that their limited understanding could not fully embrace until now. For perhaps the first time in their entire life, they are learning to trust something that runs deeper than logic or ego, something that cannot be captured in spreadsheets or proven with evidence. They are learning to trust their intuition, that quiet inner voice that has been gently guiding them all along, offering wisdom in whispers they too often ignored or dismissed as foolishness. In the past, they may have lived entirely in their mind, analyzing every decision to death, trusting only what they could see and touch and measure. But when it comes to you, their intuition speaks with a volume and clarity that cannot be ignored any longer. It feels undeniable, like a truth written into the fabric of their soul. There is a magnetic pull drawing them toward you that refuses to release its hold, no matter how far they try to run or how busy they keep themselves with distractions. They cannot deny the intensity of the experience they shared with you, nor can they dismiss the feeling that what you both had together was unlike anything else they have ever known in this lifetime or any other. To them, this connection transcends ordinary attraction or compatibility. It goes beyond the surface-level chemistry that brings two people together for a season and then fades when circumstances change. What they feel for you carries the unmistakable signature of something destined, something that was always meant to be. They sense that you are not just a person they happened to meet by chance, but a soul they were always meant to find. This feels like a twin flame connection to them, that rare and transformative bond that mirrors their own soul back to them, challenging them to grow and evolve in ways they never imagined possible. This profound realization has not arrived peacefully or without cost. On the contrary, it has stirred a storm of emotions within them that sometimes feels overwhelming in its intensity. They are caught in the midst of emotional upheaval, waves of feeling that crash over them without warning, leaving them breathless and disoriented. They find themselves unable to get you out of their mind, no matter what strategies they employ to find relief from the constant thoughts of you. No matter how busy they try to keep themselves with work and obligations and social activities, no matter how far they attempt to run from the memories that haunt their quiet hours, thoughts of you resurface stronger and more insistent each time. You have become woven into the fabric of their consciousness in ways they cannot undo and no longer want to. You are present in their dreams at night, appearing in scenarios both familiar and strange, your energy unmistakable even when the details shift and change. You occupy their quiet moments during the day, suddenly appearing in their awareness when they pause between tasks or find themselves alone with their thoughts. You even inhabit the spaces they try to numb, the moments when they seek escape in television or music or substances or the company of others. No distraction is strong enough to push you fully from their awareness, because you have claimed a space in their soul that cannot be evicted or ignored. This persistent presence, rather than driving them to frustration, has become a teacher showing them an important truth. They now realize that the only way forward is through clear and honest communication, through finally speaking the words that have been locked inside for far too long. Half measures and avoidance will not work anymore because they have already tried that approach and it only created more distance and pain. Vague gestures and subtle hints cannot bridge the gap that has opened between you. They know with absolute certainty that if they want to heal the rift that has developed and move forward with you in a real and lasting way, they must finally speak their truth with courage and transparency. They must risk vulnerability for the possibility of genuine connection. They must lay their cards on the table and trust that honesty, even when it is difficult, is the only foundation upon which something real can be built. What has shifted fundamentally within them is their willingness to lean into their intuition rather than their ego. In the past, their pride or fear of vulnerability may have stopped them from reaching out to you, kept them frozen in place when their heart was screaming at them to move. Their ego whispered convincing arguments about protecting themselves, maintaining the upper hand, not appearing too eager or too desperate or too needy. Those defensive walls seemed like safety at the time, but now they can see clearly that those defenses only led them to stagnation and regret, trapping them in patterns that served no one and prevented the very connection they most deeply desired. Now, by trusting themselves on a deeper and more authentic level, by honoring the wisdom that comes from within rather than the fears that guard the gates, they feel more willing to put in the real work that love requires. They are ready to take meaningful action rather than waiting passively for circumstances to change on their own. They are ready to break free from the patterns that kept them stuck in loops of approach and withdrawal, intimacy and distance, hope and disappointment. They want to mend what has been left unresolved between you, to address the wounds that were never properly tended, to speak about the things that were pushed under the rug because they seemed too difficult or too risky to face directly. They want to fix the parts of the relationship that became heavy or broken, to restore what was damaged by misunderstanding or fear or the simple passage of time. Most importantly, they want to create space for something healthier, more authentic, and more lasting than what you had before. They want to build a foundation strong enough to support not just the good days but the challenging ones as well, not just the passion but the partnership, not just the romance but the real and enduring love that weathers every storm. This shift in their perspective has also brought another profound change. It has closed the door on distractions and alternatives. They are no longer searching for other options or scanning their environment for someone who might be easier, more convenient, less triggering, or more willing to accept the limited version of themselves they were offering. They are no longer trying to fill the void you left with temporary connections that provide fleeting comfort but no genuine substance. Their heart has made its choice, and that choice is clear and unequivocal. It has chosen you and only you. There is a calm certainty settling into their soul now, a knowing that feels unshakable even when doubts arise. They know without question or reservation that it is only you they want in their life as a true partner and companion. The thought of settling for anyone else feels hollow and empty compared to the depth of love they know they feel for you. Other people may be kind or attractive or successful, but none of them carry your energy, your essence, the particular magic that you bring into their world. No one else could possibly fill the space you occupy in their heart, because that space was shaped by you and for you alone. More than anything else, your love has been a catalyst for profound transformation in them. It has sparked a process of becoming that goes far beyond surface changes or temporary improvements. Your presence in their life inspires them to evolve into their real self, the self they may have hidden from the world out of fear of judgment or rejection. You call them toward the version of themselves that is raw and vulnerable and unafraid of being truly seen in all their imperfect humanity. With you, they feel safe enough to shed the masks they wear for everyone else, to remove the armor they constructed over years of protecting themselves from hurt. They feel invited to step into the full truth of who they are without fear that you will turn away in disgust or disappointment. Your connection has awakened something in them that had been sleeping for far too long, teaching them that love is not about control or power dynamics or carefully managing another person's perception. Real love is about openness and trust and the willingness to grow together through both beautiful and difficult seasons. Looking back at the path they have walked, they may wish they could rewrite history, returning to those crucial moments with the wisdom they now possess. They might imagine themselves acting differently, speaking up when they remained silent, reaching out when they withdrew, being honest when they hid behind walls. But they are learning that the past cannot be changed, only learned from. What matters now is not what happened yesterday or last month or last year, but what they choose to create moving forward. They are ready to put the past behind them, not by forgetting it or pretending it never happened, but by integrating its lessons and choosing not to be controlled by its fears. They are ready to take full responsibility for what was left unsaid and undone, to own their part in the distance that grew between you. They are ready to meet you in the present moment with honesty and clarity, bringing their whole self to the connection rather than fragments and shadows. More than anything, they hope for the chance to prove that their love is real and substantial, not just a feeling that fades when tested by reality. They want to demonstrate that their intentions are genuine and that they are committed to showing up consistently rather than disappearing when things get difficult. They want you to know that this time will be different, that they will not let fear hold them back from the vulnerability that true intimacy requires. Your person carries a message in their heart that they are preparing to share with you. They want to take a moment to express what has been sitting in their chest for so long, building pressure like water behind a dam, waiting for the moment when it can finally flow free. They want you to understand the reasons why you are so important to them and why you will always hold a special place in their life that no one else could ever occupy. They know that words may never fully capture the depth and complexity of what they feel, that language is too limited a tool to convey the fullness of the soul's knowing. But they want to try anyway, because you deserve to know just how much you mean to them, how profoundly you have impacted their life and their heart. From the very beginning of your connection, there was something about you that touched them in ways they never thought possible. Your beautiful smile has the power to light up entire rooms and lift spirits that had grown heavy with worry and burden. The love that shines so clearly in your eyes speaks a language that transcends words, communicating care and acceptance that goes straight to their soul. The sweetness that radiates naturally from your being makes them feel like they are in the presence of something extraordinary and precious, something to be treasured and protected. When you smile at them, it is as if the entire weight of the world lifts off their shoulders for those precious moments. They can breathe a little easier, see a little clearer, hope a little more freely. When you look at them with those eyes that seem to see everything, they feel truly seen in a way that is both thrilling and terrifying. Not just the surface they present to the world, but the depths beneath, the vulnerable places they usually keep hidden from view. Being with you allows them to open up in ways they never thought they could with another person. You create a safe space for vulnerability, an environment where they feel free to show every corner of themselves without fear of harsh judgment or rejection. When they think about you, even in quiet moments when you are apart and separated by distance or circumstance, they feel like they can lay their heart completely bare, like a book open to its most intimate pages with nothing left to hide. This level of trust and openness is not something they have ever been able to cultivate with anyone else. You possess a unique gift for acceptance that goes beyond simply tolerating what they willingly show you. You gently bring to light even the parts of themselves they have tried to keep buried in darkness. There are fears they have avoided examining, insecurities they have refused to name, memories they have pushed down deep because facing them felt too painful or too overwhelming. But somehow, with a gentle persistence that never feels forceful, you see right through the walls they have constructed over the years. You hold up a mirror to the pieces they have ignored or rejected, inviting them to look honestly at what they have been running from. And instead of turning away in disgust or disappointment when you see these shadow aspects, you embrace them with compassion. In doing so, you teach them how to embrace those parts of themselves too, how to integrate rather than reject, how to love their whole self rather than just the acceptable parts. You see the depth of their soul and the complex layers of their mind with such remarkable clarity, perceiving things about them that even they had not fully recognized. And the fact that you still choose to love them after seeing all of this amazes them every single day. They love how you accept them for exactly who they are, complete with flaws and mistakes and imperfections, without asking them to become someone different to earn your affection. That kind of radical acceptance is rare in this world where most love comes with conditions and expectations attached. It is the kind of love that people search for their entire lives, reading about it in books and seeing it portrayed in movies but rarely experiencing it in their own relationships. And somehow, through grace or destiny or pure blessed luck, they have found it in you. They know they are far from perfect. They do not have everything figured out or all the answers to life's difficult questions. They stumble regularly and struggle with their own limitations and challenges. There are days when they feel like they fall short of who they want to be, when they look in the mirror and see someone who is still learning and growing and making mistakes along the way. But in your eyes, none of that seems to diminish your love for them. Somehow, you make them feel like they are exactly the right partner for you, like their imperfections and their strengths both contribute to why you choose them. That belief changes everything for them, shifting their entire sense of self and possibility. You give them the courage to keep going when things get difficult, to believe that even in their imperfections and ongoing growth, they are fundamentally worthy of love.